ready to explore the Hebrew roots of your Christian faith? Then grab your Bible and let's get started.
Shalom. I am so glad to see everyone today because we have 4 days until the Feast of Weeks. I'm hoping that you did join me on Saturday, this past Saturday, for the first part of Feast of Weeks. If you have not, I encourage you after this live premiere that you will go over and watch that on the replay and then join me on Saturday for part 2. Welcome to Reconcile the Kingdom, where we're working towards becoming a harmony of the whole world of truth. My name is Patrice Robinson, and I greatly appreciate everyone that is able to join me live and those who will be joining me on the replay. As you know, everyone is greatly appreciated that does show up and watch the videos, and most definitely join me on live. I'm hoping if this is your first time, third or fifth time, that you have the opportunity to just explore the YouTube channel, just to see all the teachings that is on the channel. There's over 300 teachings that's available for you to examine, that you be able to search the scriptures to find out what you are learning. Is it biblical truth or is tradition? That's the whole purpose of this channel. Most step to make this channel to spread out the information about being a disciple of Yeshua. We have to be disciples. Now, hope you're ready to join this family that does not mind searching the scripture, does not mind challenging the religious systems that we have been under for hundreds of years, that we can challenge whether it's biblical truth or tradition that we're following. A family that's dedicated to be a lifetime student of the Bible. It is easy to join this family. Just hit that subscribe button and that bell below. It will let you know when we're live, when there's any announcements or any updates. I'm pretty sure that you are receiving that information regularly. But that's not the only way that you can support this ministry. You can support this ministry by making comments, sharing what you are learning, sharing the link, giving me a thumbs up so that the YouTube algorithm can push it out so we can continue to grow, because we are trying to make disciples, again, starting with the elementary level, and promote growth. You can support me by following on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Spotify, YouTube podcasts. And don't forget about our online digital shop. Online, we have over 30 items available for you to choose from. We have individual Bible companions. We have the book division Bible companions. We even have the workbooks. And don't forget the book of Judges workbook, because we'll be starting that on June the 3rd. I'm going to try to remind you at the end of this live premiere. And another way you can support this ministry by using the love jar. Most definitely donate to the ministry, again, for the purpose of building the kingdom of Yehovah and making disciples like we are called to do. Those are the many ways that you can support this ministry, and all that information can be found right in the description box that you can take a look at and explore in your own timing. For those of you that have already purchased the Genesis workbook, we're going to go straight to the key points. And the key points for me for chapter 27, that was a very exciting chapter for me. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because we had talked about in part 1 and part 2, not to rely on the titles on top of the chapters in the Bibles, because that can give your mind narrow to just that thinking of what they picked out. Because what we found out in chapter 27 by itself is that Jacob wasn't the only one doing the deceiving. We also found out that Jacob was not stealing the birthright. And so those things can be misleading, or you can lead your own self. But we found out that Esau was upset about everything, and so he blamed Jacob for stealing his birthright when he actually sold it to him, which means Jacob most definitely have to receive the blessing because that comes with the birthright. And he was not happy about that at all. So there was so much that was going on within that family in chapter 27. So that's what stood out for me. And that not paying attention to the titles kind of helped me narrow into the word of Yehovah, because that's what we have to soak in is his word, not the titles that the person of the Bible decided for you to focus on. So I'm hoping that you make the time out, that you will share your insights, that you will share the things that you find that you might need to apply that you found in chapter 27, especially as new parents, all those type of things. I'm pretty sure you're learning something out of chapter 27. Now, those are the reasons why the comments are good, that you can share your insight, what you're learning, what you're applying, so that maybe the other family members can learn something from you. The purpose is for us to learn from one another. That's important. So we are going to be working on chapter 28 today, and I believe we will have no problem completing chapter 28 because it only has 22 verses. If you have questions, you can send those at the end of this live premiere, also doing a replay, and comments are welcome throughout. So most definitely comment on what you're getting, um, insights and applications that you're getting from as we go along, not only just to 27, but as we go along, those things can be helpful for other people. Now, I hope you have your Bible before you, your highlighter, all the writing utensils that you need. We're jumping right into chapter 28. Verse 1. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise and go to Padarama, to the house of Bethel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thou mother's brother. And Elohim Almighty bless thee and make thee fruitful and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee, thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which Elohim gave unto Abraham. And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went into Padan-aram. That is a long word to try to say. And to Laban, son of Bethel, the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's and Esau's mother. Now, this is just confirmation that Jacob received the blessing. So he received the blessing that's been passed down from Abraham to Isaac and now to him. He had now received the inheritance. Now it's time for him to be fruitful and multiply. Not just get married and have children, but have multiple people, which we know was going to happen for Jacob. And he inherited the land that was promised from Abraham for Abraham's descendant. Do not marry any of the women that is of the cursed bloodline. Remember that cursed bloodline is not Ham himself, but is from Canaan. That's Ham's son. So not all of Ham's bloodline has been cursed. Now he sent him to his mother's brother's family to go marry one of his cousins. So it's good to understand that he was told to be fruitful and multiply. And this is what we read back in the beginning with Adam and Eve. And then again, we heard it from Noah and his family. And now we hear it again for the birth of the nation of Israel. I just find that fascinating how you will get those patterns throughout the Bible. Verse 6. And Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padan-aram to take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother. He obeyed them both and was gone to Padan-aram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac, his father, then went to Esau, then went Esau unto Ishmael and took unto him wives, which he had, Mahalda, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth, to be his wife. Jacob did not rebel against his parents' request. He wanted Isaac wanted Jacob to marry one of Rebekah's family members, which is out of the household of Abraham's father, just like Isaac did. Isaac married his cousin. So he wanted the same thing for him. Do not marry these cursed people among these cursed people. And then we have Esau marry one of Ishmael's daughter. But before he did that, what I, what I didn't realize, I didn't understand in this chapter is that Esau heard that that Esau did not want Jacob to marry any of the women of the land, but Esau already got married to two of the Hittite women, two of them. And it seems like Esau wasn't aware that it made Isaac and Rebekah unhappy, unsettled that he did that. So I'm not for sure how the marriage thing went. Did he go off and do it on his own? What happened or what the parents said to him once he got married to these women of Canaan? But it seemed like he realized he wasn't pleasing his parents in the way that they wanted him to. And now it's too late. So he go marry one of Ishmael's um, daughters, family members. And I don't know, maybe he realized that at the last minute that was not, he wasn't supposed to marry any of the Canaanite women. I just find that interesting that he just now realizing this, that he wasn't supposed to marry those women. Verse 10. And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran, and he lightened up a certain place and tarried there all night, waited there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and put them up for his pillows and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached the heaven. And behold, the angels of Elohim ascending and descending on that. I remember Yeshua made a comment that you would see him ascending and descending among the angels. And behold, Yehovah stood above it and said, I am Yehovah Elohim of Abraham, thy father, and the Elohim of Isaac. The land therein thou liest to thee, will I give it unto thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Seed, not seeds, but seed. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, will bring thee again unto this land, for I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. Now, here you have Jacob having this dream, a dream of a ladder of angels ascending and descending. I know some people just don't believe it was a ladder, but those of us that have dreams, our dreams come in different ways. Sometimes our dream come in symbolism, and we have to pray for Yehovah for the interpretation. And sometimes our dreams come exactly as it's supposed to happen. So I am a believer that it was a ladder and that he was most definitely learning the interpretation of it. So we have Yehovah speaking to him about what he has spoken to his grandfather Abraham about, that your descendants will inherit this land, and not Esau, not Ishmael descendants at all. Now, we do realize that both Ishmael and Esau are by birth the firstborns, but neither one of them received the firstborn blessing. I just want you to understand that they both were firstborns who did not get the blessing. Verse 16. And Jacob awaked out of his sleep, and he said, surely Yehovah is in this place, and I knew it not. Yehovah was there the entire time. And he was afraid and said, how dreadful is this place? This is none other but the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of heaven. Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put on his pillows and set up on a pillow and poured oil up on top of it. And he called the name of that place Bethel. But the name of that city was called Luz at first. Jacob vowed a vow. So let's listen to this vow, because it was refrained from what Yehovah already spoke to him. But let's read it. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if Elohim be with me, which he said he was, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will keep me and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace. He wants to return back. Remember that land. Then shall Yehovah be my Elohim, and this stone which I've set for a pillar shall be Elohim's house. And of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give 10th unto thee. So he had that vision, and so he's now making that covenant with Yehovah. He's accepting the covenant that Yehovah blessed Abraham and blessed Isaac with. But he said, because Yehovah already said he was going to make everything safe for him, Jacob said, if I have a safe journey, if he provide all the provision that I need and help me to return to my father's house in peace, then I will make him my Elohim. So that was the agreement that Jacob had made with Yehovah. Now, what we see here is Yehovah speaking to Jacob. He's hearing his voice. Now, if we go back, we know that Abraham had visions and he was able to hear Jehovah's voice. We also know that Isaac was able to hear Jehovah's voice. And now we have Jacob, who also had dreams. He's the only one who had dreams so far. Had dreams and able to hear the voice of Yehovah. Later, with his sons, you will find out that not only they had dreams, they was able to interpret dreams themselves, especially Jacob's son Joseph. Now, I also read in here in verse 22 that he told Yehovah that I would give you a tenth unto him. Now, the first time we read about the 10th tithes given was with Abraham and Melchizedek, the high priest and the king. And now we have Jacob making that same commitment. Now, I did not read anywhere that Isaac gave 10 to. So eventually, Jacob is saying that he will give a 10 to Yehovah. Now, this tithe, again, second time in the Bible written, came before Yehovah gave instruction to Moses. So it came before the Torah, it came before the law. The 10th came. So did circumcision that came from Abraham. So it's important to understand the root of things when things begin and started, because what people are missing is that Yeshua is the word of Yehovah. What does that mean? He is the word made flesh. So how do you know Yeshua if you don't know the word? You don't have the foundation of the word. You have no idea what's written in the Torah. Don't know what the instructions are, but you have the written word made flesh. So this is why I keep telling people, do not ignore the Torah, because in the Torah, you know the Messiah. Also in the prophets and the writing, because he is the walking word. So I'm hoping that you are gathering some information, that you're learning, having insight, and you are applying things. And I want you to share that in the comment box, especially those of you who purchased the workbook, because this is what the workbook is guided on, those type of things. Now in chapter 27, I did not do any word study. And I'm hoping, and actually chapter 28, we did not do any word study on today, but we will find out if we need to do anything on 29. And I'm pretty sure you can take that deeper yourself. As always, man does not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yehovah. I pray that you have a blessed rest of the week and that you will join me on Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.